What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to Del Tales. Man, in the last couple days, I've seen something that has bothered me tremendously. Um, I know you guys have heard of Lily Phillips, the OnlyFans girl who slept with 100 men in one day and trying to claim that she doesn't regret it. In my life personally, man, I've seen a lot of disgusting things in my life. This one definitely has to be damn near at the top of them. The sad part of this for me personally is the part that I think I'm more disappointed in the people whom surround this woman and the men who participated in this act than I am at Lily herself. But let's not get this twisted. I'm still disappointed with Lily, so let's make sure we understand that. But what makes something like this even remotely okay? You know, just think about it for a second. It gets sadder every time you think about it, or even as time goes and you think about it, it gets worse. What mental state does one need to be in to come out here and do something like this? 100 men in one night? Can you imagine the possibilities of things that could have happened with STDs, the mental battle even for the men? What if the men's families found out about this? Let me show you a quick video of how one guy actually reacted.
However, we were able to speak to another man as he left the Airbnb, although he seemed shaken by the experience.
How are you feeling?
It's not something I'd normally do, but I saw it and I thought, might as well.
Yeah.
I think I saw it and I just thought, fuck it, might as well just do it.
And like, how long did you get with it?
She said 5 minutes, and then halfway through, she said she had to start the timer, so she said like 5 minutes from now. This was all right.
So you got some extra.
It was an extra time.
Do you know how many guys had gone before you?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, like, is that what?
Well, no, I don't really know. I just thought,
Are you happy you did it?
a little bit, I'm just a bit nervous, you know, if anyone find out. My dad would keep me out straight away.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe these men were vetted. Maybe they were all tested for STDs before this happened. But still, 100 men shared one woman in one night. Can you imagine what the 100th man is thinking? Or maybe if you're the 50th guy or the 80th guy, whatever it may be. You know, at this time, she's going to get a lot of support from OnlyFans world, because she's still going to make a lot of money from this. Sadly, this type of act is something that's outlandish and she knows she will stand out. Even the documentary that's been on YouTube has had more than 4 million views over the 9 days that it's been posted. So definitely she's going to be getting a lot of money from this in multiple different ways. Actually, there's going to be a lot of different money streams for this. None of that though makes this act okay. And why is it that no one in her inner circle is telling her that, maybe you shouldn't do something like this? Maybe something like this is not okay. You know, even if her making money is the only benefit that she's getting from this, like from the support of the OnlyFans or the online media, maybe it's not good for her mentally. Or maybe for her in general, what will her image be like when she performs an act like this, or after she performs an act like this? How will the world see her? Will you always be known as the girl who slept with 100 guys in one night? You know, will people ever be able to trust you in the future? Will they even be willing to work with you in the future? Um, all of these things have to kind of start running in your head. What if maybe she wants to have a husband one day and this pops up? I mean, it's the internet. You can't delete anything. So then what do you say? Even though you're getting people supporting you in one way, there are other costs in your life that will take you. What if you're 30 or 35 and you're no longer as attractive as you were in your early 20s as you are now? In all honesty, I think the reality that she will have to deal with later on is definitely the bigger picture and definitely the sadder part for me personally. That's just my opinion. And I think it will definitely give her a lot of challenges later on. And of course, the feminists are the ones coming out and saying, you know, maybe she's not a slut. Maybe she's just the victim, you know? and saying that sleeping with 100 men is more showing her womanhood being empowered, you know, or her coming out and calling herself a slut, Lily herself, and saying that sleeping with 100 men in one night is definitely the definition of being a slut. And that is her fantasy. She wanted to do it. But the feminists are wanting us to feel empathy and sympathy for her because she's supposed to be the victim. And she's not leaving until she gets these 100 men that she sleeps with. And that since the guys want to sexualize her, why is she not able to benefit off of this when she knows she can? I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry for her. Not in the slightest bit. She chose to do this. You know exactly what you're doing when you decide to put yourself in harm's way. She claims that she actually enjoyed these acts. Here's a video of her talking about this. Here's proof right here of her saying it.
Media, like everyone is preying on your downfall. Banks don't allow you to bank with them. Your Instagram's trying to get shut down. Like, you know, it's just like the little things that's just like, no one likes what you do. And everyone just thinks less of you, basically.
I see that you've kind of like taken on the word like and almost owned it in a way.
Yeah, 100%. I don't mind being told. I'm sleeping with 100 guys in a day. That is the definition of a sexuality.
Would you refer to yourself as a feminist?
Yeah. At the end of the day, doesn't feminist mean like you just want equal rights for boys and girls? And yeah, I do what I want, and I do it because I enjoy it. I think there are obviously some women that maybe go into it because they have to or need the money and stuff like that, or they're kind of coached into it by men. But my personal experience is I've only ever felt empowered by the fact that I'm making money off something that I think guys will do anyway. Like, guys are always going to sexualize me, so I may as well try and profit off that bit.
I mean, not all guys are going to sexualize you.
I don't really know. I think I don't. I mean, maybe not all guys, but a fuckton would. I mean, I'm like a part of the problem. It's so hard because, like, doing extreme stuff like this is not normal. Like, and I think then guys are probably going to expect girls to maybe be as strong as me and sleep with this many guys and take it up with us or do stuff like that isn't real life. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around.
But you do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people forget it is my fantasy and this is what I enjoy. And so it's hard because you're like being selfish, but you're also not helping the situation.
So please make any of this make sense. And you guys seen the video for herself. You've seen her talking. You know, if anything, the men may be the ones who are the victims. You know, why they agreed to do something like this is honestly beyond my head, but I did do some digging and I learned, even from the documentaries also mentioned, the original men for the most part backed out. I'm not saying all 100 backed out, but most of them definitely canceled. And they had to scramble and find new men the day before this act. You know, maybe common sense actually settled in for these men. And I'm actually proud of them for actually backing out of something like this. Maybe the reality of the situation was like, wait a minute, am I really about to do this? So not so much for the other 100 that they definitely found. You know, the dangers you put yourself in, like I mentioned earlier, with the STDs, the mental side of this could be too much to bear. I mean, even for me, it's too much to bear. You know, how do you know with finding men the day before the act that they're all tested correctly, that none of them actually have STDs that could have passed the quick testing that they did or anything like that? You know, I don't know how you can look yourself in the mirror even after this as a man and you are sitting there going, man, I better keep this a secret from my family. I better keep this a secret from my friends. Nobody better know that I did this. Because inside you also know that something like this is not okay, man. Putting yourself in harm's way for this, it's not worth it. Because if someone finds out that you were one of these 100 men, I guarantee you they will never look at you the same way again. That's a guarantee. You know, I also guarantee her family would not look at her the same way if they knew she was doing something like this in a day. You know, certainly she's keeping something like this away from her family and she doesn't want them to know the specifics. Maybe the family will see it on the internet or on the news or something like that, but she does not want them to know the details, especially before the act is done. Here's her saying it herself.
You've obviously spoken to your parents about this, right?
I actually haven't. My parents know what I do, but I'm not on the phone to them every day going, I just got DP'd, 17 guys today, or this and that. They don't need to know the logistics.
But
I do feel a little bit like embarrassed being like, Mom and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do. Doesn't mean to say my parents are like going to disown me or hate me or anything like that. I just don't want them to think less of me, Like we can still be like very close and stuff like that, but I just don't think they need to know like exactly every single detail.
But they'll find out, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. This is the thing, I think, with like my career and stuff like that. We're not sat here talking about, I filmed this with us today, or I filmed this, because there's just no need. I remember my dad saying like, my friends talked about you, like seeing you on or something like that, and they know, but like there's just no point in being like, I'm doing this or doing that.
Yeah. Are there days where you second guess it ever?
Not particularly. There are days where I'm sat here on a Sunday, I am feeling a little bit more lonely. My friends have all got boyfriends, and I'm like, I see a comment and people are like, God, no one's ever going to marry you or something like that. And that can definitely like make me feel a little bit like, oh God, have I chose the wrong career? But like, I just totally love my job. But just like people talking about your body constantly, how you look, every day someone like picking at you, I think that's the hard part. And also just the pure fact that people think so much less of you. Before anyone ever meets you, they already perceive you to be something. I think now I'd find it hard to make friends in terms of like real friends that really just see me for who I am and not like, like pop star online, whatever, this kind of like persona.
Yeah.
Also just like all of social media, like everyone is preying on your downfall. Banks don't allow you to bank with them. Your Instagram's trying to get shut down. Like, it's just like the little things that's just like, no one likes what you do. And everyone just thinks less of you, basically.
I see that you've kind of like...
Why would she keep it away from her family if it's not such a bad decision? She thought this was something that was okay. Even herself, Lily, she knows that this is not okay, but she also knows she's going to benefit heavily from this. And that this is something that will stand out, and not many people will even consider trying to match this. So it kind of goes back to her question of just why not do it when she can benefit from it? So the reporter goes out of his way to talk to another OnlyFans girl, the Southampton Queen, to kind of see what her opinion is on this and the whole entire act of sleeping with 100 men in one night, and listen to what she had to say.
Actually, I'm going to another OnlyFans creator, Lily Phillips, is planning to sleep with 100 men in a single day for OnlyFans content. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's really sad. I just worry about her mental health. I'm hoping it's a hoax and it's not gonna actually happen. I don't know. From what I've seen of her, I think she's like young and beautiful. I don't think she has to sleep with 100 guys in one day for attention. I don't know. It's like medically, is she going to be in a lot of pain? Mentally, you're going to be known as the girl that 100 guys in one day, and I think that's really sad. The problem is that when you sign up to objectifying yourself, it's like you're signing a deal with the devil. Like, no one is going to see you as a human being. It gets to the point where everyone objectifies you, that's the reality of it. You're like the cash cow.
Do you think the kind of thing Lily's doing this weekend is the future of OnlyFans?
I hope it isn't, but we keep seeing so many sort of outrageous stunts. Maybe people assume they have to do that in order to get attention and followers. So it is just going to have to get more outrageous, which is quite scary if you think about it. Oh, I'm just worried about the smell for you.
The smell?
Yeah, I feel like the smell will be bad.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Bye.
This is exactly what women should be telling Lily, that none of this makes any sense and that they hope she's actually mentally okay and that her mental health is in a good place. Because after this act, she didn't look okay. If you care about someone, even if they're on OnlyFans to make their money and you are in their inner circle, why would you let them go through this kind of situation? I mean, this is really sad to see. No, I don't agree with the feminists on this one. This is something that could be very harmful to Lily in the long run and the men involved. Lily tried to claim that her only regret that she had was she didn't allow for the guys to finish because they only had 5 minutes with her. She wouldn't even recommend this to be done by anybody else because she knows how wrong it is. Afterwards, she definitely looks like she's been ran through by 100 men in one night. She started tearing up because she claims it was intense and that it was a lot for her to deal with. And it's not for the faint of heart. Now mentally, she has to deal with the fact that she just slept with 100 men over one night, or in general, for that matter of fact. In her face, it almost looks like her ego was kind of hit a little bit. She's almost questioning herself as to, why did I do this? Why did anyone even allow me to do this? And why did this have to happen to her? She's not okay with what happens and she knows it. On the inside, she's having to deal with this. Towards the end of the documentary, though, she mentions out of the 100 guys, maybe between 6 to 10 of the guys is all that she remembered. She had to black everything else out. And she said without the video proof, she wouldn't have known that she slept with that many guys. That alone is depressing, Guys, look, ultimately, this is really fucking sad, man. I really hope this girl can get some help, and I really hope she can be okay in the future. I wish the best for her, but her even talking about 1,000 men, this is only getting worse. Thank you guys for watching, man. Peace out. Thank you very much for your time today, guys. Definitely like and subscribe, and we will have much more coming for you. Have a good one.